Prelude. Sir Mandorallen and the Siege of Black Hollow. It had been 3 years since Pug-now, known across the kingdom as Sir Mandorallen, earned his knighthood. Once a mere squire, he had since proven himself a warrior of great skill and unwavering courage. Yet, with glory came new trials, and soon he would face his greatest challenge yet. Chapter 1. The Shadow of War. The kingdom of Eldoria had long been at peace, but trouble brewed on the eastern frontier. The Warborn, a ruthless army of mercenaries and raiders, had been laying waste to villages along the border. Their leader, a savage warlord known only as Garruk the Unyielding, sought to break through Eldoria's defenses and claim the land as his own. Black Hollow Keep was the last stronghold standing between the Warborn and the heart of the kingdom, and now it was under siege. King Aldred called upon his knights to ride to its defense, but many hesitated. The enemy numbered in the thousands, and Black Hollow's forces were outmatched. But Mandorallen did not hesitate. If Black Hollow falls, Eldoria will burn, he declared, stepping forward before the royal court. Give me command of the knights, and I will hold the fortress until my last breath. The king studied him for a long moment. At last he nodded. Then you shall lead our knights, Sir Mandorallen. May the gods watch over you. Chapter 2. The siege begins. With 200 knights and a force of 500 soldiers, Mandorallen rode east, his banner of silver and blue flying high. The sight of his force reinvigorated the weary defenders of Black Hollow, who had spent weeks fending off attacks. But the Warborn were relentless. For 3 days and 3 nights, they battered the fortress with siege engines and waves of brutal warriors. Fire rained from the sky as enemy catapults hurled flaming boulders into the walls. Their archers darkened the air with deadly volleys. Yet Mandorallen stood firm. He led his knights in daring counterattacks, riding out under cover of night to set fire to the enemy's supply lines. He devised clever tactics, using hidden trenches and rolling boulders to break enemy charges. He stood atop the walls, rallying the soldiers whenever hope began to wane. But as the 4th night fell, the enemy prepared their final assault. Garruk the Unyielding himself rode forth, his black armor gleaming under the moonlight. With a voice like thunder, he bellowed, "At dawn, this fortress will be mine. Surrender now, and I may spare your lives." Mandorallen stepped onto the battlements, his sword raised high. "We are the shields of Eldoria. We do not surrender." The men roared in defiance, their spirits ignited by their commander's unwavering courage. Chapter 3. The Breaking of the Siege. At dawn, the Warborn came. They surged forward like a tidal wave, scaling the walls with ladders and smashing the gates with a massive battering ram. Black Hollow trembled under the assault. Mandorallen led the charge at the front gates, cutting down foes with the precision of a seasoned warrior. His blade danced through the air, striking down any who dared challenge him. But the enemy was relentless. Garruk himself crashed through the gate, atop a warhorse clad in spiked armor, swinging a massive great axe. The 2 warriors met in the heart of the battlefield. Blow after blow rang out, as steel clashed against steel. Garruk was a giant of a man, his strength monstrous, but Mandorallen was faster, more precise. He ducked under a wild swing and drove his sword into the warlord's side. Garruk roared in pain, but fought on. The battle raged until, at last, Mandorallen found his opening. As Garruk raised his axe for a final strike, Mandorallen pivoted and drove his blade through the warlord's heart. Silence fell over the battlefield. Then, a mighty cheer erupted from the defenders. The Warborn, seeing their leader slain, scattered in panic. By midday, the enemy was broken, retreating into the hills. Black Hollow stood victorious. Chapter 4. A Leader Rises. When Mandorallen returned to the capital, he was greeted as a hero. King Aldred, his voice filled with pride, addressed the people from the palace balcony. Sir Mandorallen has done what many believed impossible. He has saved Black Hollow, broken the Warborn, and proven himself not just as a knight, but as a leader of men. The crowd erupted in cheers. Then the king turned to Mandorallen. "From this day forth, you shall command my armies. You shall lead Eldoria's warriors in times of peace and war. Kneel, Sir Mandorallen." Mandorallen knelt, his heart pounding. The king placed a hand on his shoulder. "Rise, Lord Commander of Eldoria." A new chapter in his legend had begun. For now, this is only the end. For now.